I don't know a word of Norwegian, which makes me sound a little bit like a fraud, maybe, but there's always help around. We have copies of the original, the Norwegian book we went at, and there is a Norwegian woman who lives in the community in Williamstown, Massachusetts, and she read both versions and was very impressed with the English version, and I just let it go at that. I didn't, for a while I sought out our Norwegian translator, but it became very expensive and it wasn't really relevant, and because she knew so much about Norway during the war, I just went on her thumbs up that this book was okay. Where I got involved and what I had to do was I had to find someone to translate the German. He included as much as he could, because he spoke German, all the German phrases that came from the Guards and that came from the Guards. That's all he knew, and sometimes from Himmler, who visited it at the end, and some of the higher ups in the SS. So I had help with that from a woman who lived in Germany during the Second World War, who's also a great member of the community. And my job was to make this draft, and it really was just a first draft, to make it sound as if it was really coming from the same voice all the time. One of the things that no matter, because Mr. Bolgen was bilingual, he spoke fluent Norwegian, that's where he was born, and also beautiful English, but when you translate, which we're not allowed to say, but when you translate anything, your first intent is like playing a piece of music. You want to get all the notes right. You want to get every word right. So in this first draft, it sounded very much like someone who was just learning English. It was very broken and choppy, and I had to make it sound as if it was coming out from this man's heart and mouth, and was just a fluid piece of almost dialogue with the world about what was happening to him. And as easy as that sounds, and I'm quite used to copy editing, it did take a lot of versions to try to make it flow as it should. But the structure of the book was very sound, very sound. I mean, even though you know how it's going to end, and you know some of the statistics of where he went for year after year, and you go through every Christmas with him, he still had you still get a progress of him, of his soul, sort of how he has psychologically accepted what's happened to him, and that he knows that the war will be over. And then, of course, the war soon becomes clear that Germany, the Nazis are losing ground, and the Spitfires begin sailing over their camp, and they finally feel, and they're listening to shortwave radio. They find a radio, so eventually he's able to relax a little bit, but you never relax until you really get out, and that's when we didn't see him much at the end. We just saw him get home. That was it.